My name is Ante Anić. I'm coming from Split, Croatia, where I had the EP lab, and we are practicing in a university hospital, so I'm practicing academic institution. My first exposure to the FARAWAVE was actually in the pre-CMARC period. We're lucky that our center was one out of 3 in Europe, along with Homolka in Prague and Bordeaux Center to use it before it hit the market. So far, this journey lasts for 5 years. The initial manifest idea behind the MANIFEST-PF registry was to capture the performance, safety and feasibility, later on the effectiveness of ablation with FARAWAVE in a real clinical world practice. And that is set to capture some other stuff that otherwise we're not able to capture in pre-CMARC trials. And within that registry, it was very clear that with PFA, there are some complications that fortunately will be forgetting about, like some serious complications like PV stenosis, atrial fistula, and persistent phrenic palsy, while having preserved clinical effectiveness when compared with the best thermal methods. The expanded MANIFEST registry initially was thought to be 10K, but now it turned out to be 17K. It's fantastic effort. Now more than 100 centers in Europe participated. And what was shown in this extended registry, that the safety aspects are preserved. So having a stroke rate below 0.2% is a fantastic testimony of how safe is this technology for the brain, which is very important because most of the time we are doing elective procedures. And also, in this expanded registry, we've seen that other rare complications are not occurring and are not making a surprise. So this is a very important piece of data. I was not surprised. Having exposure in pre-CMARC and having some basic knowledge about the science behind PFA, I knew that with pulse field ablation, when delivered endocardially, it's very unlikely to have these complications like PV stenosis, atrial fistula, and persistent phrenic palsy. This is an important topic, and the Boston as a company was confronted with the fact that that now that you have a new platform with a new energy source, how to start the programs in the European centers. And now we see from the registries and also from the single center reports that there is a learning curve. Of course there is a learning curve. This is a new hardware and there's a new software which operator mind has to adapt to. The FARAWAVE is first of its kind. So the FARAPulse platform is a multipolar pulse field ablation platform. Many more are to come to the market in the next few years. So being first of its kind, it's a game changer. And you will see, like I project that in 3 or 4 years' time, very few European centers will keep performing thermal methods for de novo AF ablation. So I see that the FARAPulse is a fantastic de novo AF ablation tool. With the introduction of pulse field ablation, our lab day duration was significantly cut. The experience from the patients we received, the patient satisfaction post our procedure performed that are short and performed in a deep sedation only, and experience from the EP labs personnel are very rewarding. and should not be neglected, because this is something that is not captured in registries or randomized controlled trials. But we should not neglect the feedback from patients and from our EP lab personnel. This is very rewarding. Absolutely. For every given catheter design, there is a very specific coupling of pulse field energy configuration. So each setting has to be differently tested against all safety aspects, and of course for the effectiveness and durability of the application. The thing that comes across all those trials is that ablation, PVI, pulmonary vein isolation with Therapulse, is safe and effective, as safe and as effective as with improved large generation of thermal methods, like large generation cryoballoon or large generation of point-by-point RF, while having improved lab efficiency profile, and that comes even with a very early exposure in the centers. So that is a testament for itself. We do need more data on performance and clinical effectiveness of the FARAWAVE catheter when used for persistent AF ablation. When we do beyond PVI ablation, we do need the data on safety and clinical effectiveness on the long run. I think there's no new data that will come as a surprise for us for the paroxysmal patients. So my interest right now should be in that population, persistent AF population and ablation with the Therapulse. No matter the operators could be super experienced in a single shot like cryo, or they may be super experienced with a focal RF. I do suggest that when starting the Therapulse program, I do suggest that centers should be proctored by experienced user. There are tips and tricks in these kind of procedures, like any other platform. And it's the thing that the super experienced cryo users will find this stuff very easy to use, user-friendly, and I think after 10 procedures performed, they will feel very comfortable, and they will feel safe comfort level like with their technology they're using for years.